In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I handle rejection as a man who does, open interactions and cold approaches on a day-to-day basis. And this isn't one of those videos where I give you guys theory, like the top 5 things to do to avoid rejection or the top 5 things to handle rejection. This is me live in the streets doing and getting rejected time and time again. All names have been blurred out for privacy's sake. But yeah, this is me doing live examples, getting rejected, and how I handle it. I'm going to give you guys the thought process of going through it, looking back on it. What could I have done better? What I did wrong? We have a couple of different varieties here. I have about 5 videos. So if you're into this type of content, if you're into personal development, if you're into picking up girls or learning how to do better with social interactions, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'll be happy to give you guys more of this content in the future. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get on into it.
Excuse me.
So first off, I like to kind of not like necessarily stalk my prey, but like I want to position myself where I'm front facing in front of the person and not coming up from behind them. You want to avoid that at all costs. I have a skateboard, so it's really easy. And where I live, there's a nice walking street. So I'll go ahead and if I see somebody and we're walking opposite directions, I'll take my skateboard and then circle around and then go a bit in front of them and then wait for them to come into me. It's kind of like setting a trap a little bit, but you want to go ahead and not approach from behind. That's definitely the worst thing that you can do. Don't tap them on the shoulder. You want to become like one of the biggest things is being non-threatening. I think that's a big thing that people miss is, especially if you're a bigger guy, muscular like me, you want to be non-threatening as possible, but still inside of your masculine frame and still presenting yourself as, a viable mate, but not coming off, angry or threatening or violent or, possibility of causing harm. Just, polite guy that's here to go ahead, introduce themselves and get to know the girl that he's talking to.
I saw you and I had to know, what is your ethnic background? Because you are beautiful.
Really? That's the first question?
So right here, she's kind of trying to set a bait for me, like a trap a little bit. She says, really, that's the first question. Then she's looking away from me. It's quote unquote a shit test. Like she's trying to see if I'm going to fall or falter to her ploy and fall into her frame. But I just stay silent here. You're not supposed to, take the bait, as they say. Just go ahead and, stay strong inside of your grounding. Because she was trying to say, oh, that's the first question that you're going to ask. I could have said, what's wrong with that? Or did you not like that? But I just stayed silent and stayed in the pocket.
Yeah.
South Indian and black.
It's a nice mix.
Yeah.
What's your name?
So I do this a lot, and this is a critique of myself. I have a high-pitched voice here. It's an attempt to become like, this is just me developing as a man. As non-threatening as possible. Like if you guys ever seen Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, he does like a very high-pitched voice. A lot of times it's very funny and it's very disarming, but it's just become core inside of my personality. And now looking back, especially looking back on tape, I can definitely be more in bass inside of my voice because sometimes my voice doesn't match my body, and that's one thing that I'm working on.
I'm Tristan. Nice to meet you.
So I blurred out her name.
Nice to meet you. Yeah, I've seen you around a few times.
Really?
I think we have mutual friends, yeah.
That's a good sign. If she says, I've seen you around a few times, that means that she's taken notice of you. She knows who you are. And it's probably just, she's waiting for you to come approach her. At this point, she's still not making eye contact with me. She's a little bit on, not that necessarily defensive side, but you see like the hand right here in front of the body. It is a sign of a little bit of unease, but not necessarily the unease of like uncomfortability. But there's going to be some underlying things later in the video that you're going to be finding out, which makes more sense about this body language right here.
What'd you think?
Of what? I mean, I saw you on your skateboard. Were you the guy that used to run the food truck?
So yeah, she said that she see me on my skateboard. These are good things. If they say that they've seen you before, this is all great news. They've taken notice of you. Whether people love you or whether they hate you, you just don't want them to be indifferent about you. So the fact that she's seen me and that we're talking about it right now means that that's been on her mind before. Good, bad, ugly, just as long as it's not neutral.
No, that's a different guy. No.
Okay. Yeah, no, I definitely saw you. Where was I? We were on Dia de los Muertos. Yeah, we have seen you a few times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now looking back on it, Dia de los Muertos, I think I was in Medellin, so I think she's confusing me with the wrong guy. And I might, go back to her and try and correct her because she thought I was running a food truck before, but we'll see in this video.
I'm from California, but I live here.
What part?
Have you heard of Temecula?
Yeah, I'm from Santa Barbara.
Oh, well, little sister lives in, well, she used to live in Goleta. Yeah. Yeah.
So I like short relatability. I love being relatable with people. I love having a lot of experiences because it brings down the armament. Like it's very disarming when you can relate to somebody. And I call it relevant but unnecessary. Sometimes people bring up relevant information, but it's completely unnecessary. This is not in this case. This is actually very relevant information. I'm bringing up the fact that I have a little sister. I'm bringing up the fact that she lives in Santa Barbara, a place that she also lived. So there's a lot of things that she can tie from here that make her feel at ease. And one of the biggest things that you guys want to do is just make them feel at ease when you're talking to them, especially on the street, especially out of nowhere, because the general climate of social politics today is very like, oh, you can't, SA and all this harassment stuff. So you want to become like I come across. This is my teaching. I can't speak for other teachers. I'll never try and speak for other teachers. If you like my school of thought, hey, come join me in my journey here at becoming a better social interactionist. But I like to come across as non threatening as possible. Polite, sweet, kind. That's my type of get down.
CC.
Nice.
Nice.
How long you been here?
Like 3 years.
And you see, she's asking me questions. Those are signs of interest. If she's asking where you're from, great question. How long you been here? Great question. These are just showing that she's interested. These type of engagements are amazing. They go so far. So you'll see later in the video that if a girl doesn't ask these questions, that means she's just not that interested. And if you're in an area of abundance or a mindset of abundance, like I put myself into, then you're not going to be too worried about the ones that don't have interest. You're going to go after the ones that do have interest and then build on the relationships with them.
I don't know. Okay. You like coffee or?
I do drink coffee, yes.
She gets a little nervous there, and we're about to see why. But that's a great transitionary point. Do you like coffee, or what do you like to eat? That's a question that I like. So you go ahead and transition into getting the number there.
Yeah.
Is it?
I think I'm off limits. I think you went on a few dates with one of my really good girlfriends here.
Ooh.
I don't want to get involved. I don't want.
And my roommate's laughing right now because that's a funny statement. But oh, he's laughing about something else. Never mind. But yeah, it's when a girl says that I'm off limits. Once again, I don't try and push. Like I know I'm a special man and my time is special, so I don't like to go ahead and try and bark up this tree that's not really for me. So you'll see here I play it off cool and I try and get some information out of her, like who it is, what's going on with this person, but she doesn't at the end.
I want to make sure I heard the story correctly, but that's how I know who you are.
Can I get a name?
No, I don't want to get involved. It's nothing bad, but that's the only reason we've been out and she's like, oh yeah, that guy.
So based on the interaction, it would have been good if I didn't have this interaction with her friend that I went on dates with. We probably would have gotten each other's numbers and we probably would have gotten coffee if I decided to pursue it to that point. But as you can see, timing is everything. Like I think a lot of people underestimate how many attempts that you have to go through to go ahead and really just become successful at this. Like timing is everything. If I had met her a year ago, we'd be going on a date before I met her friend. Or, I met her a year later and maybe her and her friend are not that close anymore. So it's like you want to think of it like planting seeds. You're a gardener planting seeds and really just think about the long haul. You want to have positive interactions with everybody because you don't know who knows who. You don't know what knows where and why and how. So keeping it cordial, keeping it polite is my school of thought. And like I said, if you want to subscribe to my school of thought, hit that subscribe button. You should definitely do it.
Can I get a name? Can I get a name?
No. I mean, you're dating around, you've been on dates, right?
Of course. Yeah.
So I like to bring this up here. If you're just open and honest with who you are as a man, and then there's no reason women will get mad at you for dating around. Like if they know that you date, if you don't make it a secret, you talk about women with other women and kind of just, keep it surface level, like don't take it too deep, then you can do whatever you want. It's up to them to choose if they want to rock with you or not. So like on my Instagram, I have a lot of girls that see the videos that I make and they congratulate me on the success of them. But it doesn't deter them that, I go ahead and I talk to 50 women a day and get interactions with 50 women a day because they know that I'm a special man and I have abundance and I could choose, any person to be with and I'm choosing to be with them in that moment. So if you are ever worried or nervous about dating multiple women, you got to just be honest with it yourself. You have to feel internally that you belong dating multiple women, and then, some will, some won't. So what? Who's next?
No ill. I
So you're just gonna leave me with this burning curiosity inside of my soul.
Next time I see you, I'll talk to her, and then I'll be able to connect all the dots. But not my place.
Can I get a description, like a hint, a blues clip?
As you can see here, I'm keeping it really light and airy. Like, I'm telling jokes. One big thing about, my type of game is humor. I'm a big humorist. I love conversation. I love teasing, poking, jabbing, having fun, and not making it too serious, because the times that I do need to make it serious and I do need to get a point across and I do need to sit in my masculine, it gets across very clearly and very well. So, yeah, I want you guys to take that into your arsenal and be the man that you want to be. Be the man that would make you proud in the mirror.
I get around. I just want to know. I like coffee.
And once again, like the Will Smith voice, it gets high. I could have delivered that better. I'm going to be my own worst critic here. Definitely could have delivered like more bass in your voice. But also, I like playing with the high tones. So we're going to this is a social experiment. We're going to mess around with it.
No, not my place. But yeah, I'm deaf off limits.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, don't be sorry. Yeah. Excuse me.
So we're going into the next one here. This is a mother-daughter duo. I like mother-daughter duos because it takes some guts to go up to them. It's not the easiest approach in the world. I definitely don't like going around when dads are around. I get icky about it. I wouldn't want a guy coming up and introducing himself to my daughter if I do have a daughter. So yeah, it's just me. You got to pick and choose your battles. Like I like living in cities or places by the beach where there's a lot of people hanging out, working out, going around, and making themselves comfy. And I like that comfy nature. So these people are very comfy here, as you can see by their clothing.
You're absolutely beautiful. Where are you guys from?
So as you can see here, I wanted to point this out. They're walking away. Their momentum is still walking. I'm planted firm. I'm like, no nonsense. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to stand here, stand my ground. If you want to come into my frame, in my bubble, I'll meet you guys here. But I'm not going to chase after you. I'm not going to walk after you. And you're going to see that in another later video, that I'm standing where I'm at, and I'm good where I'm at. So, that's one of the perks and the benefits of being tall, and, I work out a lot. Maybe when you're getting started, you might have to bend your frame a little bit, and that's okay. You're learning. I want you guys to get as many data points as possible. Don't look at my videos and think that this is what it's supposed to be. This is years of grind, years of approaching, years of, dealing with those inner demons of, lack of self-confidence, just to get to this point. So in my journey, I started off with terrible acne, skinny as can be. So the time is your best friend when you're working towards a positive goal. So they're moving forward, but as you can see, she is still looking at me. Even though she's moving forward, she is still engaging with me. She's still looking at me, and that's why I asked the question, where are you guys from? Great question to get them into rapport and conversation. Oh, no, don't do that.
Where are you guys from? Oh, welcome to, we call it Playa del Canada. So, a lot of Canadians here, I'm sure.
So, I like to tell a joke, Playa del Canada. Once again, it's the relatability thing. I come across as humorous, like I said earlier in the video. And I'm going to introduce myself to the mom first. She's kind of like the guardian, the barrier to entry here. If she approves, it's more likely that she's going to improve. You want to pick off the friends before you go for the quarterback. You want to clear the defenders, because what's going to happen, even if you get her number and she's not happy about it, she's not going to text you back because she's not happy about it, and she has to live with this person. She has to deal with this person. She has to see this person on a regular basis. You're a random guy off the street. So even if you get the number, it's always best practices to go ahead and attack this first before you attack that.
Nice to meet you. Live here. I've been here for a few years, yeah. I'm Tristan. Nice to meet you. What part of Canada?
Calgary, Alberta.
Oh, it's real cold up there right now. Real cold. Yeah, glad you guys are here.
Relatability. Pleasant, kind, polite. You can see that they stopped their momentum. They're smiling. They're having a good time. They're gonna talk about this engagement later. They're gonna think, wow, what a nice, sweet guy. And they're going to have a positive mental note. And who knows, maybe a year down the line, 2 years down the line, I run into this girl again, her and her boyfriend break up. Maybe we hang out. Who knows? I can't tell the future. You haven't seen tomorrow, and neither have I. So I want to keep this as polite as possible throughout, regardless if we go on a date or not, regardless if I get her number or not. You want to just be a good person.
You're not there. What's your name? Tristan. Nice to meet you. Mom, daughter, sister?
I throw in that sister jab. Yeah. You do it all the time. Just when you see somebody's birthday, you say, "Oh, how old are you turning?" 22. If you see a mom and daughter, you ask sister every time, every time, every time. Just lay of the land, rules of the world.
Oh, okay, yeah, you guys are a dynamic duo. How long are you in town for?
One more, like about a week more.
She's cute, man. She is cute.
More? Okay. I don't mean to be rude or anything.
I cleared the defender. You gotta clear the defender. I'm asking mom for permission to ask her out. If I get the clearance with mom, then it's smooth sailing. She could go out and she could come out and hang out. But if I don't get clearance with mom, then she's not going nowhere and it's a waste of time.
But do you mind if I ask you to dinner sometime? Or?
I actually do have a plate.
Oh, well, that's life. So. Well, yeah, he's a lucky guy.
I love saying that line. He's a lucky guy. Because, like I said, she might come back later and say, "Hey, I'm sorry, I actually don't have a boyfriend." Or it might come across like, "Oh, you know what? I actually lied." Or something along the sorts of that. And you just want to be a nice guy in their mind. And not, now, nice guy and boring guy, I want to make the special differentiating factor between the two. You can be nice and exciting. You can be nice and fun. You can be nice and a good time. But you can't be boring and exciting. You can't be boring and fun. You can't be boring and a good time. So when people say nice guys finish last, they really mean boring guys finish last. So don't be boring.
Nice to meet you. Mom?
You don't have a Spanish accent or a...
No, I'm from California. Excuse me.
So that was the end of the interaction. The videos go for about a minute, so this one is a lot shorter. This one, I stick my frame, and if she's not willing to, step back and meet me, I let it go. She's really beautiful, but as you're gonna see, I'm at the point in my game where I'm not gonna chase. I'll turn my head, I'll turn my body, I'll maybe even call them over and point in the middle and be like, "Hey, I'll meet you right here. I'll meet you in the middle." If they're not willing to meet me in the middle, I'm not gonna go chase. Especially where I live, I'm not gonna go chase. I'm not gonna go do that, and that's just part of my own testament, part of my own law of the land. And what every man has to do eventually is decide what it is that their code of honor is. They can look at everybody else's code of honor, all the other men that they admire, all the other men that they hate, but every man has to create their own code of honor, because if you don't have your code of honor, you're going to be going by somebody else's rules. And if you go by somebody else's rules, you're never going to truly live your life how you see fit. So I stand in my frame, and you're going to see that here.
You speak English? No. Solo español? Okay, bye.
So I could have called her over. I could have, pulled her back into frame. She wanted to be pulled into frame. I could see that. But I think just at this point in the day, I didn't really feel like jumping in or jumping over or saying, because she stopped and hesitated for a little bit, as you can see right here.
Solo español?
She stepped right there. It's really hesitant, really short. You could see it. Beautiful smile, but unfortunately, maybe she was in a rush. That's why I say again, timing is absolutely everything. Timing is the name of the game in this. Some will, some won't. So what? Who's next? If you go out and you do 100 approaches, I'm saying 100, and not figuratively, an actual 99 plus 1 approaches, you're going to see success. I have never in my life seen somebody do something 100 times, and not at least get better at it. It's impossible to play the same level over and over without seeing patterns. It's impossible. Even if the monsters are different, it's impossible not to get better when you see something 100 times over and over and over again. So like I said, when I say 100 attempts, you could see like the little hesitation right there, that little stutter step. I could have picked on that. If I really was wanting to, I could have like walked with her and then maybe pulled a soft number or maybe an Instagram. But at this point in time, man, I don't care. I'm going for home runs. I'm swinging for the fences. I really want good content. I want good interactions. I want women that are, living here in the area, that are interested in me and that know the man that I am. And I'm going to keep on continuing making content. I'm not bending to the whim of somebody else. I've been 28 years single just fine. I've been single more of my years of life than I've been in a relationship. So if somebody wants to come into my world, they can. If they don't want to, they don't have to. I got my family. I got my friends. I got my business. I'm happy where I'm at. And that type of level of security in self is something that I really want you guys to aspire for too. So when you're coming out talking to these women, you're coming from a place of fullness instead of a place of emptiness. I'm looking for, first and foremost, I'm looking to make content. Second, I'm looking for a companion, like somebody to kick it with, and somebody that can, have fun with. I'm not looking for somebody to change me. I'm not looking for somebody to fix me. I'm not looking for somebody to complete me. I feel comfortable in myself. And then that's why I stand in this frame right here. I don't, jump at her stutter step and chase after her, which, I have before. And even if you do, it's not a bad thing. I just prefer to have somebody that comes into my frame instead of me going into theirs and meeting them halfway, just to the point in game that I'm at. But if you're not at that point of game, don't worry about it. You're going to, after 100 data points, you can think, man, I met so many guys that get into the game, they get some success and they think they can start teaching it, but they haven't seen 1,000 at bats. You can't teach this stuff unless you've seen 1,000 at bats. You're seeing 3-4 at bats right here. Okay, how many days do I need to have 3-4 at bats to see 1,000? 250 days? I've been doing this for years. You understand? So as somebody who's seen the gauntlet, you have to just get out there and get as many reps as possible. If you join the coaching program, we're going to be on the phone with you while you're in the field. We're going to see what you got while you're in the field. Don't hesitate to jump into the game. You got to go. You got to pivot. You got to divvy.
Okay, bye.
And like I said, the Will Smith voice again, high pitch. I'm coming off as non-confrontational, but I can definitely work better on that. That's something I can definitely improve on.
Excuse me.
And I wait a little bit right here so that she comes into me so I could talk to her, and it's not like, because people are thinking when they're walking, they're thinking. They're not like immediately attentive. That's why I use the excuse me to break the ice and to get their attention. It's an attention breaker, as sometimes they call it inside of the game days.
I just want to say that you're really beautiful.
You can see that she genuinely enjoyed that compliment. Look at her eyes. Her eyes are like just wow. Like she really enjoyed that, but she's the one with a boyfriend.
What's your name? Oh.
Her voice quivered right there. How cute. So you could tell she genuinely enjoyed that, but she's just a sweet girl. She's just a nice girl. And she really respects her boyfriend. So we're going to play this back just one more time so you can see.
I just want to say that you're really beautiful. What's your name? Oh, that's fine. He's a lucky guy. Oh, of course.
And with that, guys, that is the video. I hope you got a lot out of this. I get a lot out of it just seeing, my voice, my tonality, my inflection, things that I can work on. If you're interested in deeper coaching, I encourage you guys to jump into the paid community that we have. It's $47 a month. We might be raising in the future. At the time of this recording, it's $47 a month. But there's live in-depth breakdowns like this. I go over these things live. You can ask me questions and answers. You can be inside of a community of other guys that are looking to become better at social, overcoming social anxiety. And it's an awesome community. I love community. I'm a community guy. And you'd be supporting me as a creator. So if you like this video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I would really appreciate comments. I love comments more than anything. If you could comment on the video and tell me what you thought, I'd really enjoy it. But with that being said, if you want deeper coaching, I am available for one-on-ones. We're available for group coaching, or if you just want to get into the paid community, we'd love to have you. So with that being said, Tristan Social here. I hope you guys had a wonderful video. I'll see you guys on the next one.